I was just a little boy growing up in Texas. That old rooster'd wake you up on a summer morning, the sun ain't even up yet. It's already too hot to lie in bed any longer. So you slide off that sheet and walk over to the window and look out across the back pasture. All them cows are scattered about eating grass while it's still wet with the morning dew. And overhead about the most beautiful sight you've ever seen, golden sun rays streaking across a crystal blue sky and not a cloud in sight. So you decide it's gonna be a fine day to go fishing. You drag your little brother out of bed. He's kinda lazy, you know. You go out to the barn, you get a couple of cane poles off the rafters, some kite string and a pork and bean can full of worms. Crawl through that barbed wire fence and hurry across the pasture down to the creek, all the time keeping one eye out for that old red bull. You get down there to your favorite spot under that big weeping willow tree, stick the end of that pole in the mud and watch that cork bob up and down. Lay back and listen to the cicadas and dream about all those places you wanted to go and all the places you know you'd never get to go. Meanwhile, your little brother, he ain't doing too much fishing. He's kind of standing around watching out for snakes. 'Cause you know how them old cottonmouth water moccasins are in Texas. Summertime in Texas, 110 in the shade, thinking that you got it made. Gonna catching big fish today. Mom and Papa working in the field. Gotta feed 12 kids, got no time to kill. Thanking the Lord for the food we eat. Grandpa sitting on the back porch soaking his feet. That summer, next thing you know, your dad's waking you up early on a Saturday morning. It's the only day of the week you get to sleep late any longer. Come on, boys, get up. That yard ain't gonna rake itself. So you get out of bed, walk over and look out the window, and it's just about the most beautiful sight that you've ever seen. Coming over those tall cottonwood trees on the north end of the pasture, just about 1,000,000 blackbirds stretched out as far as you can see. And all them trees down by the creek, they've all turned red, yellow, and brown. But heck, they don't look so pretty piled up knee-deep in the yard. So you drag your little brother out of bed, wolf down a few biscuits with some homemade butter and peach jelly. And you listen to that old green tractor chug along as it heads out to the cotton field with a trailer full of brothers, sisters, and cousins. So you and your little brother get out there and start raking them leaves up. Seems like every time you get a big pile, the wind comes along and scatters them all out again. By the middle of the afternoon, your little brother, he ain't breaking up too many leaves anymore. He's standing there looking down the road at the preacher's house, where all them kids are out in the yard playing football. You know how football is in Texas. Autumn time in Texas, the trees have all turned brown. The leaves are on the ground. The norther's on its way to town. Everybody's busy, get their harvest in. Gotta pick that cotton, get it to the gin. Hurry home from school now and don't be late. Gotta pull a lot of bolts and that hay can't wait. That's autumn. Next thing you know, that old rooster's crowing. You open up your eyes, it's still dark outside. You can smell bacon cooking and see a light coming out from under the kitchen door. You know your mama's already been up a couple of hours getting everything ready to start the day. And as you're lying there, you can feel that chill in there. You pull that heavy quilt up over your chin. You just gotta stick your cold feet up against your brother, make him squirm a little bit. And boy, it's cold in there, but it's so warm in that soft feather bed. You sure don't want to walk down the blacktop road this morning and catch a school bus. But all of a sudden you remember what the weatherman said the night before. Jump out of bed, your bare feet hit that cold hardwood floor, and run over to the windows and look out across that back pasture. Sure enough, it's just about the most beautiful sight you've ever seen. Just like someone came along during the night and covered everything up with a white, soft velvet blanket. And that one bright morning star glistening off the snow, you know, makes it look just like the picture on a Christmas card. Well, all except for that yellow spot out by the mailbox. Do you know how them old hound dogs are in Texas? North wind blows so cold, makes mama feel too old. Put some more wood on the stove, the wind whistles through the cracks in the wall. Old Jack Frost is creeping up down the hall. Papa's out in the barn getting the milking done, does a half a day's work before he sees the sun. That's winter. The next thing you know, it's bright and early on a Saturday morning. Your dad's in there shaking the end of the bed. Come on, boys, get up. Got a lot of weeds to chop in that garden today. So you crawl out of bed and walk over to the window. Look out beyond that big old pecan tree. There's two mockingbirds making all kind of noise fighting over a grasshopper. And out there you see about the most beautiful sight that you've ever seen. That back pasture is just about knee-deep in bluebonnets. That strong wind blowing across them makes it look like waves out on an ocean. At least what you think waves on the ocean look like. You ain't ever seen nothing any bigger than Lake Texoma. Later on that afternoon, you've been chopping down that Johnson grass all day. The biggest, blackest, meanest looking cloud you've ever seen comes blowing in out of the southwest. You hear your mama tell your daddy, you know, looks like might get a little bit of hell today. See how green that sky's getting? And your little brother, he ain't doing too much hoeing now. He's just standing there looking up in the sky. He says, you don't think that might be a tornado cloud, do you? You know how them tornadoes are in Texas. Springtime in Texas, the trees have all turned green. The air's so fresh and clean, more puppies than you've ever seen wanna go to town, but they say I can't. Too much work to be done, we've got seeds to plant. Gotta hoe the garden, no time to play. Thank the Lord for providing some rain today. That's springtime in Texas.